Hey guys, it's Kirsten. Let me see if I can remember how to do this here. Okay, so first of all, I just got to start off by doing this girl a solid. Okay, so Chrissy asked me, so I think it's pretty trendy now to do the um, photo overlays or whatever it's called, where one of them has a very low opacity over a full opacity picture. So anyway, I'm gonna have to show you because I can't explain it. So the first thing I'm gonna do here is the object selection, and I'm gonna tell Photoshop that I want to select this couple. Then I am going to, I think that got 99%, great. And then I'm gonna hit select and mask up here. It probably totally would not show with what we're gonna do, but we might as well, it takes 2 seconds, we might as well do it. So going to the refine edge here, and it's the second tool down. I always thought it was a paintbrush on fire. I don't know what it is. Anyway, so we're going to just paint around the little baby hairs here in case any of them show. You don't want it to look like they're wearing fupa helmets. You want it to look more natural with like the little baby hairs here and there. Okay, and then you're going to hit OK. The output should say new layer with a layer mask. Click. Okay. The other picture we have is them smooching. So, okay, so let's leave the other one, hold off for 1 second. We're going to do the select object selection tool, and we're going to tell Photoshop that we want to do this. So it missed his shoes. That's going to be problematic, and a little bit of his hair. So we're going to right click back over here and do the quick selection tool. Make sure the plus is checked, and we're going to add back in. I'm not worried about her side because you'll see, but we want them shoes selected. His shirt looks good. We want his hair. And then I'm going to click on the minus sign, which I think is also the alt. Let's see. Nope, it's not the alt. It's the shift. Okay, so we want the minus sign anyway, because there's a little nugget. I don't know quite what that is. That looks good. Now we're going to right click inside. Look at it, gave her a little noogie right here. I'm going to just get rid of that too. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Okay, inside the marching ants, we're going to right click and do layer via copy. So that's going to put a copy of them over the original them. Okay. Now I'm going to click on the background layer again. And I'm going to put a pin in that. Let's go back to this. We're going to click on the move tool. And we're going to drag them into this picture. Okay, see that little piece of hair right here? And there's looks like a little something. Oh no, that's it's probably my dirty screen. Okay, there's something in his hair here. So we're going to click on the layer mask just because it's going to bother me. The black conceals. White reveals, black conceals. So we want to conceal it because it looks bad. Okay, again, it probably won't even show, but it was just making me nuts. Okay. So we're going to do something like this. Double click, or you can click the check mark up here, or double click on it to place it in place. Then we're going to lower, we're going to lower the opacity, let's just say like this, first off. Okay, so far everything looks great except for the horizon line right through her eyeballs. I'm not quite loving this. So what we're going to do is we are going to hide them for now. And let's click on the background layer. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do, there's a million different ways to do this, but I think just for quick, whatever, I'm going to just get white, or you can get like saturation, I think. Let's try that. Well, let's do normal at first. But there's a bunch of different ways. You could make like a Um, an adjustment layer. Well, I guess we could do that. Hang on. So hue and saturation. Let's just play with. Oh no, saturation's not what I want. That's not what I want. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay. Okay. We could do that. I don't think it's necessary to clip it, but let's just clip it to the background. And then we want to invert it like that. Okay, so a black layer mask, we want a white brush, so hit X. Let's start small, like at 45. Now we can paint a little bit of the lightness, just a smidge like this. Now notice it's not getting on the couple because the copy of the couple is up here over that. Okay, now the reason I'm doing this is to kind of make the horizon line not quite so obvious. So when you turn this couple back on, it's not like a big stripe across their face. So now we can leave it on. Let's go back to the hue and saturation. I'm going to bump it up to like 70%. Whoops. Wait a minute. Okay, I forgot what I was doing. Okay. Okay, so now it's not as bad. One thing I was doing before, I was clicking on the picture like this and sampling like the sky just to make it white, you know what I mean? Well, I probably didn't need to put it at 100%. Let's go a little bit. Let's go at like 30%. And then I was just kind of, because you want the grass to show through a little bit, but I was just doing things like maybe on her engagement ring, things like that, that you don't want it to be like totally distracting. Okay, something like that. Okay, so now I'm going to go back on this layer with the two of them, and we want to conceal, so we're going to hit X so black is on top, and we're going to keep the opacity at like 27%, let's just say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just paint the hard edge away. And the other thing we can just play with for the hell of it. Okay, so I like that better because then the couple doesn't look like it's standing out so much. So I dragged the lower opacity picture on top of the couple's picture. Okay, so now I'm just going to do a couple clicks like this because you want it to look like it's spilling on top, but not like weird. We want some parts to blend in more than others, maybe. But see how I didn't refine edge on this guy, and now it looks like you know what I mean, like his hair looks weird. So what I would have to do is click on the layer of the couple, put a layer mask on. Oh yeah, that looks dumb. I should have, but see now I'll never get it. See the little baby hairs right to the right? That's what we kind of should have done, but we didn't, so whatever. But we just don't want it to look stupid either, which it does right now. So let's just get rid of at least like the green grass and just soften the edge a little bit. I just had an idea. All right, let's go back. Oh, there's some caca. Oh my God. Okay, so I didn't do a very good job at all. But, you know, if this was a paying client and they were paying you, you know, a couple $100s to make this thing, then you can go and get the crappy job that I just did. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so, all right, so that, now we can always, you know, if we don't want to see as much of their bodies and we just really want to kind of be focused on like the engagement ring, for example. click back on their layer mask, and we're going to conceal. I don't want it at 100%. I'm sorry, my bad. Put it at like, I don't know, 50 maybe is fine. And again, just kind of like have it blend into the couple like that. Okay, there's a couple things I want to do. I'm going to click on the couple right here. I'm going to see if this will work. That little patch of light. I'm doing a bang up job here, but you know what I mean? You would go in and kind of and do it well. The only other thing I would do, and as a woman, like I feel like I'm just doing this girl solid, go in and I would just kind of even out where her shirt got jumbled up a little bit. Actually, let me see if I can do that in. Oh, see, I would have to merge these two layers in order to do that. Because if I liquefy this layer, the bottom layer will still show through. So I think we'd have to wait to flatten it before we went and did little fine-tuny things like that. The other thing I'm just going to try, just to see what it looks like if we're going all artsy-fartsy here, would be the place embedded. And then, let's see, overlays, lights. I do my Florabella, which I love so much. I'm just curious. Like, I don't know, something like, would that be too much, I wonder? Maybe something like that. And where would I want that? Like in the trees or something? I don't know. Does not look good. Okay, so I'm going to put it at the top. And then I'm going to change the blending mode to screen. I feel like I would put it there. Put a layer mask on it with a black brush. There was only that one hard edge. I think that looks good. Let's paint it. Maybe off of them if we want them to kind of pop. Okay, so there's that. And then one other thing I was thinking of. I was thinking if you lowered the opacity of the whole entire thing, you could always put like, their wedding vows over it, or, a poem or something, a song, their song, whatever, their first dance or something. You could type. Put it right over the, whoops. Put it right over the top, and then you can, do some kind of like composite like that. Anyway, you can kind of like add to it and play around. You can put birds in the sky. You can put a reindeer peeking its nose in. Anyway, but you can get kind of creative with this. You just got to have the layers. You got to know about blending modes, which is like putting, if it's a black background, you put it on screen, like that kind of thing. But yeah, you can have tons of fun. Another thing we can do while we're here. Okay, let's shut everything off. Click on the background layer. We probably should have done this in the other order, but place embedded. Let's see if we have something very light. I'm not going to worry too much about how fancy this looks. I'm just going to do something. This was a sky in my old neighborhood. Okay. I'm not all going making this look realistic. I'm just like, whatever. Okay, so the first thing I do is put a layer mask on it, get a black brush at 100%, and I just kind of get the hard line that's like obvious. Like this. I don't worry about getting up in the trees, and don't go high enough that you get a halo, because that's going to look terrible, right? Okay, so then we double click on the sky layer, and we're go to the blend if mode, and we're just going to go right about here, and then hold down the Alt and click. That breaks it into two, so you can feather. Okay. Okie doke. Let's see. Go back on the sky layer mask. We want to conceal. I don't know if it's even going to show, but we don't want, clouds on their brains. I also don't like it like that either, but just a little tiny bit. Probably just a little tiny bit like that. And then above the sky, I think what I would do, I think what I always do is filter, blur. Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Hang on. I'm like, why is it all black? Okay, let's click on the sky. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Maybe 5. Puts a little blur in the sky. Anyway, you see where I'm going with this. So you just keep on playing and playing and adding and playing and moving and making it cute and pretty. And anyway, hope this helps.